So Viv, welcome back to Trent Bridge. Welcome to Six as well. I suppose this sort of place wasn't here when you were playing here all those years ago.
No, not at all. I think when I first came to England in 1976, I think I do have fond memories of this particular place in itself. Here's where it all started, in the very first test match I would have played in this country. And didn't do too bad. I can remember my very first innings, a double century, and what else could you have asked for on your debut in a new country?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better.
No, it can't get much better.
What do you think it was that made Trent Bridge a ground you had that sort of success on?
Well, it's something that I fell in love with, the fact that after you would have come and you would have had such exploits, I completely felt pretty confident after that I could have moved on and to have accomplished almost anything because of the start which I had, and I thank this particular place. It's a home away from home, as I would say, because I started on the good foot, and during that particular series in 1976, I had an amazing series, so I'm very thankful.
I suppose every time, or more or less every time we played at Trent Bridge, you'd have been on the opposing side, whether it was West Indies, Somerset. What were the Trent Bridge crowd like for you?
Well, they're always pretty much supportive of their home team, but I think they also respect the fact that if there was some quality came and they were successful, then you would get your rewards as well. So, very sporting crowd.
And that was quite a time to be in the county championship as well, wasn't it? With you at the likes of Somerset and Garfield Sobers.
And
Hadley.
Also before that you had Hadley and Clive Rice. Yes, the cricket around that time, in my opinion, county cricket, it was pretty potent. The folks that was around then, there's so much quality.
Did it make a little bit of rivalry between you and Sobers, maybe? A couple of West Indians in two of the teams?
Not really. I've always had a lot of respect for Sagari. And I would never ever try and compete with Sagari because I think he is the individual that you could classify as being Mr. Cricket.
The reason you've come back to Trent Bridge now, of course, is for the exchange with Keyworth Cricket Club. As someone who came over from the West Indies to play over here for a spell, what did you get from a different cricketing culture?
It's a great experience for the young individuals. I know. When Andy Roberts and myself first came to this part of the world, on that same sort of exchange sort of program, we went to Alf Gover's Cricket School. It was a rude awakening because at the time when we went to Alf Gover's Cricket School, it would have been in November. So you can imagine what the weather was like then. It was a culture shock for us as Caribbean people, coming from a place which was basically in the 30s on a regular basis. All of a sudden, at times you could have been below zero, so it was an experience that I think that one sometimes you do take on board, and it does prepare you, in my opinion, for sometimes the bigger picture. And this whole exchange program in itself, to me, it's giving young individuals an opportunity to be part of different cultures, the different meeting different people, and that to me it's sort of the foundation that any young individual will need if they're looking to fulfill whatever journeys, especially when you are looking to be successsul.
And for those young players who'll be able to go from Keyworth out to Antigua, what are the sort of things they'll get out there that you don't get
I know
here?
for sure we're going to guarantee that they get good weather. For sure it is some of the best weather you can get. That's why we are renowned for tourism product. We try and sell as much as we can to get people to that part of the world to experience the magnificent weather and also the folks on islands.
The bartenders here have created a cocktail for you today, the Master Blaster. How's that going down?
I hope this doesn't blast me away.
The Master Blaster nickname, where was it when you first heard that sort of coined for you, and how was that?
Well, it's nice to know that people sometimes comes up with a lot of gestures and the name, and I guess maybe because of the way I played, I was pretty much a dasher in a sense, attacking player, and because of that particular exploit in itself, people would find various names for you to try and explain the way in which you played. But I'm very grateful and thankful that folks have been able to come up with certain names that they believe suits the way in which you play. But this sort of suits me at the moment.
Great, thank you, Viv.